So these are the Beats Studio Buds Plus. Now I have always liked the original Beats Studio Buds for Android users because they're just a really good pair of ANC earbuds. But now we have the Beats Studio Buds Plus, which have some improvements over the originals. So today we're going to see what the Beats Studio Buds Plus are all about, and we're going to see if it's worth upgrading from the originals. Regarding pricing, the Beats Studio Buds Plus retail for $170. Not bad for a pair of mid-tier ANC earbuds. Whereas the originals have a retail price of $150, but they now like to go on sale for $100, and the Plus like to go on sale for $130. Nonetheless, if you want to pick either of these two earbuds up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, link down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button, and let's get subscribed. Now first, let's talk about these cases. Now, the cases on both the Beats Studio Buds and the Beats Studio Buds Plus are identical. They have the same footprint and they have the same thickness, and they both charge via a USB-C port. Now, personally, I feel these cases are decent enough for everyday carry, but you will notice these cases when they're in your pocket. Nonetheless, these cases are manageable, but they are much bigger than, let's say, your AirPod Pro's 2 case or AirPod 3 case. But from a usability standpoint, both of these cases have a very easy lids that open and snap close, and they both have very strong magnets in them, making putting your earbuds away very easy. Overall, I like these cases, but they are a little big. But the main thing that I have to point out about both of these cases is that they don't have wireless charging. And personally, I do think that this is a very big deal, especially for the Plus, because a lot of mid-tier ANC earbuds have wireless charging, whereas these don't. And also, just with the sheer size of this case, you'd expect wireless charging. But when it comes to battery life, this is an area where the Plus have a very big upgrade over the originals. Now, with the original Beats Studio Buds Plus, these have an advertised combined battery life of 24 hours with the active noise cancellation turned off. The earbuds themselves can go for 8 straight hours, and the case can supply 2 additional charges. Whereas with the Plus, these have an advertised combined battery life of 36 hours with the active noise cancellation turned off. The earbuds themselves can go for 9 straight hours, and the case can supply 3 additional charges. But just keep in mind, if you were to use the active noise cancellation on either of these two earbuds, that is going to drain their battery life faster. But overall, the Beats Studio Buds Plus do have the better battery life here because their earbuds have slightly better stamina, but more importantly, the case is able to supply 1 additional full charge. The only thing that I don't like about the Beats Studio Buds Plus is that their case doesn't have a wireless charging, especially given their price and just the sheer size of this case. But now let's talk about the earbuds themselves. Regarding the sculpt and fit of these earbuds, they're identical. Now, unlike AirPods, the Beats don't have stems, and personally, I really miss the stems on these earbuds because sometimes it can be a little hard to grab these earbuds out of their case. But besides that, the Beats are sleek looking. But then there's their fit. Now, these earbuds are in-ear earbuds, but they don't fit like your standard pair of in-ear earbuds like, let's say, the Galaxy Buds 2 or the Link Bud S. These are a pair of shallow-fitting in-ear earbuds like the AirPod Pro 2 or Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. So since these are shallow fitting, these do feel a little more comfortable because they're less intrusive. However, they might not offer as much lockdown as a pair of standard fitting in-ear earbuds because they can wiggle out a little easier. But overall, the Beats Studio Buds Plus fit well, but I would mainly recommend them for casual use because if you try to work out with them, they can wiggle out. Now, when it comes to Bluetooth connectivity, even though the Beats Studio Buds Plus aren't using any of Apple's H1 or H2 chips, their Bluetooth connectivity is still really good. Now, first off, each earbud establishes a connection with your phone, so if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you can use either one, it doesn't matter. And this is the connection setup that we expect to see from all of our earbuds nowadays. But also, even though these earbuds can only be connected to one device at a time, these are still really good for any power user out there. Now, first off, if you're an Apple power user, once you connect these earbuds to any Apple device, they're going to automatically show up to all of your Apple devices that are associated to your iCloud account, so you're going to be able to easily swap from one device to another. But also, these are a good option for any power user who might have devices from different ecosystems, because these are still very fast to swap from one device to another if you call to them from another device. But when it comes to overall performance, these earbuds have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. But when it comes to audio codecs, these earbuds only have support for SBC and AAC, which is very typical for Apple products. But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these earbuds, because I've always liked how the Beats Studio Buds sound, and the Beats Studio Buds Plus actually sound a little better than the original. Now, first off, I do have to point out that you can't directly adjust the EQ on these earbuds to your liking like you can with a lot of other earbuds out there. But for the most part, these earbuds sound very balanced. My main critique is their treble. It's just a little too emphasized. I would just like to knock it down a little bit. But besides that, these earbuds have very strong vocals and very good detail in the instrumentals. But then there's their bass. These earbuds have noticeably more resonance and more kick in their bass than the originals. And I also can't help but feel that they sound a little more open as well. Overall, I really like how these earbuds sound, but I would only recommend these to someone that likes a lot of bass in their music. If you're someone that wants a more neutral sound signature, then you're definitely going to want to stay clear of these. But overall, I think the Beats Studio Buds Plus sound great, and they sound better than the originals. I just wish they could bring the treble down a little bit. Now, when it comes to your media controls, just like the originals, the Plus are using physical buttons, but these media controls are a little limited by today's standards. Now, you can have them set so that you can skip through your music and so that you can adjust your ANC settings by pressing and holding, or you can have them set to skip through your music and adjust your volume by pressing and holding. On a lot of other earbuds out there, you're able to skip through your music, adjust the volume, and adjust your ANC settings. So I think this is something that these earbuds can improve on. But also, the Beats Studio Buds Plus don't have wear sensors, so they're not going to automatically play or pause your music when you take them out of your ears or put them back in. Now, I have always felt that this has been a very big inconvenience on the original Beats Studio Buds, and I feel that this is an even bigger deal on the Beats Studio Buds Plus, just given their price increase. However, even though the Beats Studio Buds Plus aren't using any of Apple's H1 or H2 chips, they still have Hey Siri support if you use them with an iPhone, so you can still activate Siri with just your voice. But now let's talk about the active noise cancellation on these earbuds. Now, Apple claims that the Beats Studio Buds Plus block out 1.6 times more noise than the original Beats Studio Buds. And yes, the Beats Studio Buds Plus do block out more noise than the originals. Now, when it comes to overall ranking, for me, the AirPod Pro 2 and Sony WF-1000 XM5s are neck and neck for first place, closely followed by the Bose QC Earbuds 2. Right below them are the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Right below them are the Sony LinkBud S. Right below them are the Jabra Elite 85Ts. Below them are the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. Below them are the Pixel Buds Pro. And below them are the Beats Studio Buds Plus. Now, below the Beats Studio Buds Plus are the Jabra Elite 4s. Below them are the original Beats Studio Buds. Below them are the Galaxy Buds 2. And below them are the Sennheiser CX Plus. So overall, the active noise cancellation on the Beats Studio Buds Plus has been improved from the originals. However, just don't go thinking that the Beats Studio Buds Plus are going to block out as much noise as a pair of these more premium ANC earbuds. But in general, the active noise cancellation on the Beats Studio Buds Plus is going to be useful in, let's say, your bus ride commute or if you're in a slightly chatty office. But like I mentioned in the past, I only use the active noise cancellation on my earbuds when I have to, and what's really important to me is the quality of their ambient mode. Now, the ambient mode on the Beats Studio Buds Plus does sound better than on the originals. Specifically, it sounds a lot more natural because with the originals, it does sound rather artificial, a little tinny, and there is a slight hissing in the background. But just like before, their microphone array does a really good job of blocking out wind noise when walking outdoors, and also the ambient mode on the Beats Studio Buds Plus is the active kind, meaning that they will actively block out sudden loud noises, which is really good because if you're walking outdoors and if a siren rolls by or if a dog starts barking, then your ears aren't going to get blasted. But finally, here's the microphone test. Now, the original Beats Studio Buds have a decent enough sounding microphone on them to take phone calls with. And in a quiet room, I feel that the microphone found on the Beats Studio Buds Plus sounds very similar to the microphone found on the original Beats Studio Buds. However, when it comes to blocking out noise pollution, there is a very big difference here because with the Beats Studio Buds Plus, these are doing a good job of reducing all of these road noise. because for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're gonna clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the Beats Studio Buds Plus, it is severely reduced. Whereas with the originals, these are struggling to block out all of this road noise. Specifically, they are really pushing down on my voice, and you can hear a decent amount of road noise in the background. Now, when it comes to blocking out chatter, these are doing a better job, but you can still hear a decent amount of chatter in the background. But with the Beats Studio Buds Plus, these are doing a much better job of reducing all of this chatter. Because again, for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this chatter. But if we were to switch back over to the Beats Studio Buds Plus, it is severely reduced. So overall, I do feel that both of these earbuds have decent enough sounding microphones on them to take phone calls with while in a quiet room. But with the Beats Studio Buds Plus, these do a much better job of dealing with noise pollution than the original. But with all that being said, the Beats Studio Buds Plus are an overall solid pair of earbuds. They're a great option if you're an Android user because of the USB-C charging port, but they are also a good option if you're an iPhone user that wants something with ANC but you don't want to pay AirPod Pro 2 prices. But more importantly, the Plus do have some important upgrades over the originals. They have a much better battery life, they sound better as well, they have a much better performing microphone for phone calls, they have a better sounding Ambient Mode, and they block out a little more noise as well. However, I do feel that the Beats Studio Buds Plus should have had wireless charging and proximity sensors. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.